With Comic-Con 2022 in the rearview mirror and DC fandom not yet officially being announced this year, DC has made some questionable choices, but things seem to only get worse for the comic book giant. What's up, Nerdgenic Nation? Superhero nerd Aaron Waller here, and today I want to talk about the crumbling state of DC. Now, I'll preface this video by saying that I prefer DC. I know that they're not perfect by any means, but they do have the superior set of heroes in my opinion, which I guess is why this whole scenario continues to baffle me. Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, The Flash, Aquaman, and so many others in the Justice League have been copied and parodied to death over their 80 plus years of history with shows like The Boys, Invincible, The Guardians of Justice, and so many other countless superhero properties, and yet the actual heroes themselves cannot seem to catch a break. Whether it be critical and or fan reception, controversy behind the scenes, the confirmation or lack thereof whether or not the Snyderverse is truly dead or not, considering Ben Affleck is set to return in Aquaman 2, various other DC properties that were in development and close to completion like Batgirl being recently scrapped and not even premiering in theaters nor HBO Max, nothing makes sense while their competitor Marvel continues to thrive. And I'm not trying to sound like a fanboy, though it may come off that way, but DC really needs to get it together and catch up to Marvel. But not in a breakneck pace of throwing everything but the kitchen sink at the screen and hoping it sticks, but rather with methodical stories that either pay off because that's the way they were set up with from the beginning, or by simply keeping hero stories separate as it was in the Wild West of the 90s and early 2000s when every studio owned a different comic book character and had to make a movie just to keep the rights. Now, to me, I think a lot of DC's problems come down to leadership. They're constantly promoting Jeff Johns or Jim Lee into these positions of big decisions when they're just comic book guys. Yes, they know the ins and outs of the characters and have helped create some of the most iconic superhero stories of all time, but they're simply just not Hollywood guys. I mean, sure, they can give us some amazingly written stories and artwork, but in the industry that is filmmaking, it's a collaborative effort on a scale that I'm just not quite sure that they're prepared to handle. And that's not to mention that Warner Brothers, who owns a majority, if not all of the DC characters at this point in time, have a constantly revolving door of even higher leadership at CEO and various other positions of leadership. But that's getting us even further away from the point of this video. In short, DC cannot carry on the back of The Rock's Black Adam, which I honestly continue to lose faith in it being good, but I'll still hold out some semblance of hope it might surprise me like Aquaman or Wonder Woman had, nor can it continue to bank on their more secondary heroes, villain origin stories that no one asked for, and anti-heroes when the entire base of fans and the gateway to putting people in front of the screen, whether at home or in the theater, will always be the main players like Batman, Superman, and various other Justice League members. I mean, at least until they're established and the world can expand out with more minor characters similar to that of the MCU, DC will continue to be left behind and be the butt of the joke when it comes to superhero movies. And the one area that DC has always had a leg up on Marvel has been in the animated universe and animated movie universe, but it seems that this too has fallen from grace and they continue to produce inferior products that don't live up to the source material or even the characters in general. Take Constantine House of Mystery for example. He's a fantastic character that has so much history and rich stories that can be told based on his adventures, but it was the lead of a DC showcase which only allowed for a roughly 30 to 40 minute runtime and felt nothing like the character despite bringing back fan favorite actor Matt Ryan to do the voice. It seems like no matter how hard DC works to put these characters in front of us, they always seem to get in their own way. The products always seem rushed, disconnected, and like there were simply too many cooks in the kitchen, and the majority of the end results come out looking like a Frankenstein's monster of the DC characters that we've gotten to know, love, and idolize. Now I know this isn't my normal type of video here on Nerdgenic, but I guess I'm just sort of frustrated at the crumbling state of DC, and I can only hope that in the end that they'll start to get things right, put a plan together, establish the main heroes, whether it's in a shared universe or not, and just provide quality stories of the characters that we've grown up with and cherish. But anyway, now I want to hear from you in the Nerdgenic community. What do you think DC should do? Are we bound for yet another round of reboots? Should they even try to have their heroes share the screen again? Let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, be sure to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos from me or the rest of the Nerdgenic team. And also be sure to give us a like and follow across all social media platforms at Nerdgenic. That way you don't miss out on any special news, announcements, or articles at nerdgenic.com. But in the meantime, if you want even more video content from us, check out these videos on screen, like this video right over here where I talk about the biggest winners and losers from Comic-Con 2022 right over here. Or if you want some more DC content, check out my review of Green Lantern Beware My Power right over here. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it, and we hope to see you in the next video.